Greetings once again from the wonderful small town of Tonopah, Nevada, um, and especially to the half dozen subscribers um, to this YouTube channel. Hope you're getting what you came for, and if not, shoot me an email, comment on this video, and because it's kind of hard to give the people what they want if I don't know what they want. Um, in today's health news, um, blood sugar still good, blood pressure still good. Um, I don't know what my weight is at. I suspect I might have put on a pound, might have lost a pound. Don't really know because when I went to bed last night, I was so tired I didn't bother taking off my compression garments, and I may have paid for that today because coming back from the grocery store and the laundry, I got a nice sharp pain in my right calf, not in front where the wound is, but in the back. So I'm kind of hoping it's just a Charlie horse and not an actual pulled muscle, because that would be another pain that I don't need on top of everything else. Um, that having been said, this is a pretty productive day for me in a couple of ways. I emptied the dishwasher. I went over and washed a bag of laundry, and I went to the Raley's to pick up a bunch of dairy products that were on sale, a bunch of canned and frozen fruit, most of which were on sale, and the usual load of fluids. For example, Arizona Diet Green Tea, which is pretty good stuff. Helps stimulate the brain, and is usually on sale for less than the 99-cent list price, which is pretty damn good. And considering the trouble I used to have finding it in Las Vegas, because it seemed like half the Walgreens didn't carry it, and those that did were frequently out of stock. And that was even before this whole supply chain stupidity started. Anyway, got a pretty steady supply now, and I'm not chugging it 24/7 or even all the time when I'm awake, but it is a nice change from making my own iced tea with blender bottles and whatever random tea bags I happen to have around the property. Um, Among the several signs that I've lost considerable weight, aside from the suspenders here, are the camo shirt I'm wearing now, which I picked up somewhere along the line when I must have been about this weight, which I guess would have been while I was in Minnesota. Anyway, it's a 4X shirt. Hasn't fit me in ages, but it does now, and I'm going to make some efforts to make sure it continues to fit me. So yeah, on the upside, laundry, groceries, empty dishwasher. On the downside, I didn't get any H&R Block training done. By the time I got back from grocery and laundries, I had enough energy to get the groceries up the stairs, and I says to myself, well, I'll just go back and get the laundry later. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to spoil if I leave it in the trunk for a couple hours. So I did. Just came up from doing that. But yeah, didn't have the energy to spend on block training, which I'm really going to have to start doing tomorrow because it's getting too close to the end of the month. I know my district manager was talking about having me come up to Reno for a week and pitch in at one of the offices. I'm not sure how that's going to work now. The whole masking and jab mandate thing seems to have gotten thrown out by the court, but H&R Block in some ways has become a mildly woke company, and they may decide it's important to virtue signal these things, to virtue signal about this instead of actually getting down with the science. Who knows? I'll find out when the time comes, I guess. In the meantime, I still have probably a couple of days worth of training on online assist work and working from home. So I'm going to have to dig in and get that done. I suspect instead of going out tomorrow, I'm just going to stay home and get dug into this stuff because it's got to be done. And I get paid for it. I'm not sure which is more important at this point. Anyway, that's where I'm at with that. Tomorrow, I got my video call with Dr. Bui, and we're going to talk about medications, and I'm going to show her my numbers, and she's going to tell me what she thinks of the numbers and what we need to do to keep them good. Which again is kind of important because the longer I can keep my blood sugar under control, along with my blood pressure, the longer I can avoid unfortunate excursions like the one that ate most of January and the last week of December. And avoiding that will, I'm sure, be a happy-making thing for those of you subscribing. So that's where we're at. I got that. I got some baseball tomorrow. My Senators and Pete the Tech Guy's 1969 league are doing worse than historically. And part of the reason for that is that in the draft, I concentrated too much on having backup infielders, middle infielders, in case Mike Andrews or Eddie Brinkman got crunched, which hasn't happened. Anyway, the upshot of that was that got a great outfield, most of a good infield. The left side, I got Ken McMullen, I got Brinkman, I got Andrews at second base, and unfortunately, my starting pitching stinks. I managed to keep Joe Coleman from the original Senators pitching staff, but instead of Dick Bosman, I got Dave Boswell of the Twins. He sucks. Coleman's not that great either. I mean, I've lost track of the number of times both of those guys have been pitching pretty well into the fourth or fifth inning, and then all of a sudden they start walking everybody in sight. But fortunately, my bullpen, which mainly consists of the late Jim Bouton, his teammate on the Pilots, John Gellner, Joe Niekro, who was pitching with the Padres at that point in his career, and Donnie Moore. No, wait, not Donnie Moore. What am I saying? I can't remember his first name off the top of my head, but he was a left-handed spot starter, long reliever for the Senators, and he's gifted with the strange quality that he's actually more effective against right-handed hitters than left-handed hitters, which means that when I bring him into the game, opposing managers go, aha, a left-handed pitcher. I've got a right-hander that'll slaughter his ass. And, 3 hard grounders to short later, they find out how wrong they were. Oh well. I also got Mo Drabowski, who as my closer, and Mo is occasionally erratic. According to the stats, he's blown 4 of his 16 save opportunities, but on the other hand, the other 12, he's come in, he's shut down the side, and generally been worth his draft, worth the draft pick I spent on him. I don't know if this is going to get me into the upper division or not. Right now, I'm third in the AL East, barely ahead of the hated Yankees, but only a little bit behind Cleveland. And kind of hoping to at least break even this season. But yeah, it remains to be seen. We got about half the schedule left, so I'm moderately hopeful. Might be able to make some more trades to get some decent pitching, and let go of some of the truly horrible guys that I've got taking up space on my pitching roster. I got this thing in the mail from the Department of Energy inviting me to join the Nevada Site-Specific Advisory Board, which, quote, makes recommendations from a community perspective to the Department of Energy regarding environmental cleanup activities at the Nevada National Security Site, formerly known as the Nevada Test Site, sometimes known to nerds and fans as Area 51. Actually, Area 51 is just part of it, but the Nevada Test Site is where they set off a bunch of atomic warheads in the 50s, and the fun part of it is that people actually used to go up to the roofs of the casinos on the Strip and watch the bomb tests, which were like 50 miles away, but you could still get a pretty good view. Well, that's been done for 60 years now, and people are still arguing over how to clean it up, and you get a lot of greeny politicians from Las Vegas and Reno going, oh no, we can't store nuclear waste at a nuclear test site. That's wrong. It's environmentally destructive. It offends the spirits of the Paiutes. Blah, blah, woof, woof, arf, arf, scaremonger. I probably learned more about nuclear waste and nuclear byproducts and stuff like that, and by the time I graduated high school than most of these jokers have even thought about learning. And the truth of the matter is that a lot of the nuclear waste they want to dispose of isn't the kind of stuff that's going to be around for 10,000 years and be a burden on our great grandchildren. I think anyone that goes around mouthing that kind of nonsense needs to be hit over the head repeatedly with a book on nuclear physics. Preferably nuclear physics for dummies, so they get their brains wrapped around the concept of half-life, radioactive decay, and similar things. So I'm going to apply for this. It'll be a hoot if they actually pick me, especially because my family has an interesting history with nuclear weapons and nuclear power, more the former than the latter, but it's kind of hard to learn much about one without learning about the other. So, like a lot of other things that are going to be happening in the next few months. We'll see how it turns out. So, thanks for listening. I'm going to try this again tomorrow, maybe, since I didn't do any blogging today. And if you want to keep seeing this, I'd like to suggest that you follow Stacy McCain's advice on the 5 most important words in journalism. Hit the freaking tip jar. You can PayPal me money at ktrainor59@gmail.com. Or write me a check. I don't care. Either is good. Anyway, I hope y'all are having a good start to your week. And maybe we'll see you here tomorrow. Take care.